Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of Dalescenter NASCAR Betting Preview ahead of Dover, Delaware. Shout out Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning in one of the most patriotic events, one of the most patriotic moments in the history of our nation. Dale Jr. winning Dover fall 2001 right after 9/11. Dover is still a very fun racetrack. It's a very interesting racetrack nowadays, especially for betting purposes, because we only come here once a year. So our sample size has been cut in half. It's not like early in the season when you come to a Vegas or a Phoenix or a Martinsville, you've got a sample from 2 months ago, 3 months ago that you can kind of help rely on for betting information. Now, Dover last 3 or 4 years has been a one time a year race. And the Truck Series hasn't been here in 4 or 5 years, but Xfinity and Cup is all about one date right around this time, May, June of each year. And as we're recording this, by the way, welcome in. I'm listening, watching qualifying. I got my Beats by Dales in one ear, watching qualifying as we go, because I did have a big qualifying card. If you're in the Discord, if you follow me on Twitter, you could not have missed it, especially if you're in the Dalescenter NASCAR Discord, which, congratulations, we just hit 1,100 members in its very short existence. But thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, if I help you win some money throughout this weekend at the Monster Mile, please like, subscribe, share, do what you got to do for the greatest NASCAR bettor in the history of the universe. Shout out Mark Martin. Favorite Dover race ever was spring of 04. Was just the most chaotic race you'll ever see at this racetrack. Mark Martin won it. It wasn't in this paint scheme, but it was in the cool bubble car Viagra, white and blue car. And it was his I think it was his second to last win for Roush Fenway before he left, revitalized his career. Anyway, I got the Mark Martin swagger on deck today. Bottom of your screen, we're going to go ahead and get straight into the NASCAR Xfinity Series BETRIVERS 200. Shout out to BETRIVERS sponsoring this race. That's pretty cool. BETRIVERS has been great for me when it comes to NASCAR betting. Interface is very nice. Canby lines are pretty good in a lot of different areas every single week. Shout out BETRIVERS. Cool to see them get involved in NASCAR as I'm watching Denny Hamlin on track here, a guy that's going to make me nervous in my qualifying bets. But talking about Xfinity, lines on the bottom of your screen, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, do not check. For Cup, they seem accurate. For Xfinity, if you get to see this before the Xfinity race, the lap averages are completely messed up. They're incorrect. I got some data that helps me out in the Dalescenter NASCAR Discord that basically told me that I think Ryan Truex has the car to beat. But I will not bet anything lower than 5-1 or 6-1. And I love Ryan Truex, won here last year. But he only has one win in I don't know how many starts in his NASCAR career. So to see him at the same odds like on DraftKings, those lines on the bottom of your screen, he's plus 250, 2.5 to 1. To me, that's just crazy. Him and Justin Allgaier are guys that, especially Justin Allgaier, very talented, very good. But they make mistakes, especially Justin Allgaier. And I think J.A. has a lot of bad luck. He just has a lot of bad luck. I wouldn't bet him at 2.5 to 1 either. So this gives you an opportunity, especially if you're a Chandler Smith guy who has been, I'd say, the head honcho of the Xfinity Series in 2024. 7-1. I definitely stared at that. I didn't bet it because I've got a different direction I'm going in based upon my pre-practice, pre-qualifying bets, and I'll get into those here shortly. But Chandler Smith at 7-1 is not a line you're going to see very often at a technical racetrack. Anything outside of Super Speedway, to see Chandler Smith at this line, at this price, could be a steal. So just keep an eye on that. I think he qualified 7th. Not sure where he stacks up on the lap averages, but Joe Gibbs and Junior Motorsports have been the class of the field at Dover over the past several years. I think Austin Cindric won in 2021. He was ridiculous. Team Penske doesn't exist in the series anymore. Other than Cindric, it's been a big-time Junior Motorsports Joe Gibbs Racing show over the past few years here at Dover. Going down this list, I'm going straight to Austin Hill. I've got a Lock of the Universe bet. We are 7-2 on Lock of the Universe bets in 2024. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. A little bit distracting. They're interviewing Blaney. Looks like he's growing the flow back out. Love to see that. But Austin Hill. DraftKings has 12-1. Get 14-1 if you can find it over on ESPN Bet is where I got Austin Hill outright. Austin Hill lock of the universe is not the outright bet, but for a top 5. And I want to check this real quick because I've got a slip on ESPN. All right, I think the top 5 could have been on BetRivers, actually. Shout out. ESPN Bet. Austin Hill, still 14-1. Still 14-1. And then top 5, top 3, 4-1. Now, top 5 has moved. We hammered that, and it has moved down. It's now plus 155. Let's check BetRivers. BetRivers doesn't have top 5s. Just kidding. Let's see what Caesars has. Because I'd bet Austin Hill top 5 as long as it's plus money. Honestly. It's the lock of the universe. I got 3 units on it. Favorite bet of the weekend. Easily. And I said we're 7-2 on lock of the universe bets. The 2 losses, Ben Rhodes lost a head-to-head against Ty Dillon at Atlanta in the Truck Series. Ridiculous. Ben Rhodes wrecked 3 or 4 times, by the way. And then the other loss was Ross Chastain top 5 at Texas. No, I'm sorry. Top 10 at Texas. And if you remember what happened at Texas, he got wrecked on the white flag, running second. So it is what it is. Caesars has plus 160. I know I helped hammer this down from plus 220. Like I said, I put 3 units on it. Why is my roommate calling me? Hold on. This could be important. Hello? Well, yeah, I'm recording Dalescenter right now. Okay, that works. Thanks. Got a new key fob coming. Sorry, random. But I felt like that could have been important. So I did answer. No big deal. I know I helped hammer this down. I got 3 units on it. It's such a lock. It's not even close. Austin Hill top 5. I'd bet plus 155. I'd bet plus 160. Check your offshore. See if they haven't adjusted. If maybe they've got a plus 170, plus 180. Plus 220 was crazy. I can't believe that was even sitting there this morning, and we took advantage of it. So Austin Hill lock of the universe, 7-2 on Dale Tanhart NASCAR lock of the universe bets in 2024. Austin Hill top 5 is the next one. We're going to be 8-2 after that. Going down the list on my card. If you're not in the Discord, which you can join in a link below here on my profile, you're just missing out because I gave 4 bets pre-practice, pre-qualifying, pre-recording this Dalescenter episode, and it was Sheldon Creed outright 25-1. DraftKings has him at 13-1 now, which I think is crazy because a couple other books I saw have 20-1 for Sheldon Creed. ESPN bet I think is one of them that hadn't budged much. Nope, 14-1. I'm sorry. I think Caesars maybe is the one that has Creed. See, early this morning, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., these lines were totally different. Regardless, join the Discord because I got Sheldon Creed 25-1 before practice. I got Brandon Jones 35-1 before practice. And I got Sheldon Creed top 3 at 7-1 and Brandon Jones top 3 10-1. Poof, they're all gone. That's why you got to be in the Discord because while I'm not just hammering everything pre-practice, pre-qualifying, most of what I bet is typically after qualifying nowadays, unless we're at a super speedway, a place where qualifying just doesn't matter and doesn't bear any type of weight on what I would like to bet. Got to be in the Discord to see those bets. Those early bets, typically I leave exclusive to the Dalescenter NASCAR Discord. And now Brandon Jones is on the pole and Sheldon Creed qualified 5th. Brandon Jones is 12-1, 15-1 range, just about in every single book. And Brandon Jones, I think I would bet at 15-1. Am I crazy? Fuck, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to help you. I think I would bet Brandon Jones at 15-1. They've had speed. Their speed has gotten better. The driver has gotten better. I wouldn't be surprised if BJ goes out here and runs 7th all day long. That is very possible. But when I saw at Texas was an indication that they are improving. I mean, they're improving. I mean, not even close to where they were last year. They're on a different level, and they should be. It's a fucking junior motorsports car that was absolutely dominant with Noah Gragson behind the wheel, William Byron and Tyler Reddick before that. Motherfucker should be contending for wins. And I think today he will contend for the win. I'm confident in Brandon Jones. I'd bet 15 to 1 for, half unit, maybe. I think it is worth a shot. Starting from the pole, track position is important. Before 2 of the last 3 years where you've had starters outside the top 10 win, if you go down on Racing Reference, top 10 starting positions have absolutely eaten in the Xfinity Series at Dover. So keep an eye on Brandon Jones. I've got him. Sheldon Creed, a little worried about the long run speed compared to his teammate Ryan Truex, but we'll see. I like the line I got him at. I don't know if I definitely wouldn't take 10 to 1, maybe 13, 14 to 1. I'd consider, but Sheldon's still looking for that first win. Not his greatest racetrack over the years between here and Trucks. So I don't know how. Sheldon's tough to grab lower than 15 to 1 in my opinion, but Brandon Jones with the starting from the pole, speed in the race car. Junior Motorsports has been great here over the years, especially with long run speed. Allgaier, Josh Berry over the past 3 years have probably led more laps than just about anybody, even though Ryan Truex did win this race in 2023 and was pretty good throughout most of the race. Watch out for Brandon Jones in this one. And then I'm going to go Sam Mayer. We're keeping the card very, very short, even though I've got, I think, 7.5 units on the line. 1 unit's $50. Do the math. I've got about $350-ish on the line here. I'll have to check and verify that. But Sam Mayer, 25 to 1. One thing about Sam Mayer, and I'm looking at Caesars, he's 28 to 1. Holy shit. ESPN, he's now 28 to 1. DraftKings, 25 to 1. Sometimes I don't understand the line movements because I feel like when I bet stuff and I give it out, I expect it to crunch. Sometimes it just goes in the opposite direction. It's like they're fading me. That's fine. Sam Mayer is not typically a good qualifier, especially compared to his teammates. Sam Mayer is awesome in long runs. His car is really good in long runs. He's been better as a driver, just managing, conserving. Texas is a prime example of Sam Mayer's growth. Last fall at Texas, I think it was lap 1. Sam Mayer started right outside the top 10, around the top 10, top 15, hit the wall, ended his race on the first couple laps. And this time around, Texas earlier this year, he managed, had a good car, got to the front, and won. Obviously, it was a photo finish. But to me, that's a big indication of growth in the maturity level of Sam Mayer, a guy that's going to be a stud in the Cup Series one day. We got to think about how young this guy is. 25 to 1, 28 to 1 is a good price for Sam Mayer. He's had some good runs here at Dover in his last couple of starts. Give me Sam Mayer as a good underdog play, 25, 28 to 1. I just think he's being undervalued. In a junior motorsports car, I don't care where he qualified. He's going to have race speed. There's no doubt in my mind. If he stays out of trouble, he'll be there at the end. A 7 to 1, 8 to 1 top 3 bet, also something I would consider. So far, Denny on the pole in Group A, at least. Sorry, still watching qualifying as we record this, but there you go. So my full card is outrights: Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Brandon Jones, and Sheldon Creed. I have 3 top 3 bets on Austin Hill 4 to 1, Sheldon Creed at 7 to 1, and Brandon Jones at 10 to 1. And then the top 5, lock of the universe, Austin Hill at plus 220. I'd still bet it at plus 150, whatever you can find it. As long as it's plus money, I'm good with it. So that's what I got for Xfinity. You're going to be cutting it close. Green flags at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Get your bets in. I feel really confident today. And next, I have Cup qualifying reaction here, because Cup qualifying was supposed to be over by the time that we recorded this, or were recording. But unfortunately, Zane Smith crashed. They had to let an ambulance out and pause everything. And Kaz Grala had a crazy big accident at the end of practice. So we're in Group A right now. So we're not getting the qualifying reaction at this point in time, even though I can look at lap averages. I think William Byron is really, really impressive. I've got him for a qualifying bet. We'll keep our fingers crossed. But I think William Byron is really, really impressive, because typically the way Dover works, which, by the way, tire wear, the marbles are unbelievable. It looks just like Bristol. Remember what happened at Bristol? We had the tire problems. Nobody expected it. Watch out for tomorrow. Now, it is going to be warmer. It's going to be like 80 degrees versus like 60 degrees right now, which is going to change the dynamic of how the cars handle, and should allow for more tire wear, or for the tires to wear like Goodyear thinks they should wear, instead of having like a Bristol-like situation. But who fucking knows? Those marbles looked really, really bad, and they looked just like Bristol. I mean, just like Bristol. So I don't know. That's why I put up here, I do not know. What I really wanted to put was, I do not fucking know what to do. But off the bat, I think William Byron looked really impressive in lap averages. Especially because what I would expect at Dover with a concrete surface should heat up. And as the track heats up, you get faster speeds. So William Byron having the best lap averages when he was in Group A, even relative to everybody in Group B, is pretty impressive. And maybe you could say, well, there was a wreck that caused a break, with Zane Smith getting in trouble, causing a red flag. But the track should get faster, right? Even regardless of what the tires do, the track should heat up. So the fact that William Byron is the fastest in the long run speed, I think, is very important and definitely bears some weight in my potential for bets before we get to Sunday, which Ross Chastain is qualifying right now, and I've got a poll bet on him, and he is fucking slow, dude. All right, well, there's one L right there with Chastain not even fucking close to making the final round. That sucks. Here comes Willie B right now. But yeah, I think Benjamin Bill on lap averages is, I'm going to pull up the NASCAR app, and I'm going to hope that these lap averages are accurate and not completely broken. 10 lap averages: William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Truex, Christopher Bell. I mean, that tells me right there. Oh, yeah, Willie B's got a good lap coming. Let's go, baby. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Willie B's going to be a threat for the pole for sure. And he only had to run one lap, too. So there you go. Benjamin Bill, I think, was around 10-1, 11-1 to win the race before practice and qualifying. So I imagine if he qualifies up in the top 3, which I think he will, that's going to shrink up. But another thing, when I look at these averages, when I go down to the 15, only 6 drivers ran a 15-lap run, a consecutive 15-lap run, which makes it ridiculous for us. But that indication right there tells me that in the long run speed, all the Gibbs cars are right next to each other, 2nd through 5th. Watch out for the Gibbs boys. I'm interested to see where they put Ty Gibbs tomorrow. I'm interested to see where Ty Gibbs ends up if he qualifies somewhere around the top 10. I got my eye on him. I got my eye on Ty Gibbs. Yeah, Dover's not typically a place where rookies do well, or I know Gibbs isn't a rookie, but he's a second-year guy. Dover's a better veteran racetrack, right? Now, Martin Truex Jr. did win here in 2007, which was his first career win. Other than that, I can't think of Cup guys that got their first ever win at Dover. It's a tough racetrack, but with Ty Gibbs, he's just been knocking on the door. And I think back to Tyler Reddick. Think about how many times before Talladega, Tyler Reddick has had winning speed, knocking on the door, leading laps, contending for wins, had some kind of random issue that, in particular, his pit crew taking him out of races with terrible pit stops and clutch moments. The knocking on the door aspect means a lot to me when it comes to all this. And Tyler Reddick was rewarded for the amount of times that he's knocked on the door, and he got the dub at Talladega. He's had a lot of bad luck, a lot of just mistakes that weren't his fault, handed his way. And it's like the world gave him one at Talladega. So when you think about guys that are knocking on the door, Ty Gibbs, you can make the argument outside of the super speedways. And I think, where were we at? Texas, he wasn't great. But the majority of the races this year on the technical racetracks, the mile and a halves, the non-super speedways, he's had top 5 speed. Ty Gibbs has been awesome in 2024, knocking on the door. This is going to be a track position race, I feel like, with When you look at Dover races, regardless of what generation race car we're in, typically the guy that pulls off with 20 to go, they don't catch him. 10 to go, they don't catch him. 30 to go, they don't catch him. Dover is all about clean air, being up in the front, and especially with the Gen 7 race car. If the tire is going to wear like this, basically cording without putting rubber on the racetrack, we're not going to see multi-groove racing. At least we're not going to see multi-groove racing for long periods of time. So that makes the clean air battle even more important when we look at this race for tomorrow. So Ty Gibbs, keep an eye on him. I should have moved it to drivers to watch because I knew when we would record this, we weren't going to have odds reopened yet. But I will tell you guys the bets that I do currently have. Remember, I don't fucking know and I literally made this graphic when I saw the marbles. I was like, this has potential to be just like fucking Bristol. So that's scary. As Jimmy Johnson comes out here for qualifying, see how he does. 11 wins at Dover. Fuck me, dude. Okay. And I mean that in like, I'm a Jimmy hater, so it's just like those 11 wins just bring back awful PTSD, you know? Didn't run a great one. 42. Is that what it says? Yeah, 22-42. Regardless, I digress as qualifying continues here. Cup Series bets that I do have. Keep an eye on Josh Berry. I know one guy that could benefit from what we just saw in qualifying. I don't know what he really had in practice relative to Gibbs, Hendrick. And when I look at 10 lap averages, he's 8th on the board. That seems like that's pretty good. Did not qualify well, though. I think he was 4 or 5 spots outside of the top 5 in his group. So he's not going to have track position. But we got to keep an eye on Josh Berry. If you can get 50-1, 40-1 or better, maybe a 10-1 or better top 5, a top Ford bet, because who knows? With how weird Ford has been in 2024, could be worth a manufacturer bet for Josh Berry as well. When you look at Josh Berry at Dover, 3 Xfinity starts. First, second, are his 3 starts at Dover in the Xfinity Series. This is a good track. This is right in his wheelhouse. And he came here in a Cup car last year, filling in for Alex Bowman when he got injured, and he finished 10th. So Josh Berry, if SHR is not just a complete bucket of Dodge Durango 1998 mechanical parts, watch out for Josh Berry. I think he's a guy that could come out. If he's got speed in the race car and his pit crew helps him out, maybe use a little bit of strategy with a 2-tire stop or just any creative way to advance track position outside of where he's going to start, which I think will be around 18th to 20th. Josh Berry could be a guy that is a contender here. I'm not going to rule it out. I like that he didn't qualify up front because that gives you an opportunity to get a bet at good value at 60-1, 70-1 for a driver whose Dover resume is phenomenal. You can't understate it or overstate it, I should say. So I got Josh Berry to win at 50-1, I believe, and then 7-1 for a top 5. There's a chance you could get better than that 7-1 odds now. Well, actually, I got 60-1 to win. I think that will be close. I think what's going to happen, the books are going to look at that 10-lap average, and they're going to see Team Hendrick and Joe Gibbs Racing 1st through 6th, which is exactly what it is. Elliott was P6. All the Toyotas were 2nd through 5th. And William Byron was the best. They're going to look at that. They're going to crunch all those guys, and they're going to widen out everybody else when the odds reopen. Gives an opportunity for a guy like a Josh Berry at 60-1, 70-1, and think, oh, Bell's crashing. Christopher Bell just crashed. Man, he's had a rough few weeks, hasn't he? I don't think that'll be a backup car. Okay, well, talking about the odds reopening, Bell was one of the guys that was 2nd through 5th in lap averages. And I was going to say he's going to be in that group that's going to be crunched on odds. I don't think so now. I think Christopher Bell is going to be around 20-1, 18-1 range. Wow. just flat out lost it. Been a tough few weeks for C-Bell, huh? Anyway, continuing on here. And Xfinity odds are still at the bottom of the screen because I'm watching qualifying right now. We're not going to have cup odds. We're not going to have cup odds for a few hours. So get your Xfinity bets in, rewind. You want to see the card, whatever. Join the Discord. But as we move on here, as I'm watching the replay of this incident, I talk about Josh Berry being a good potential bet. Oh, he hit some marbles or debris or something. I want to look at these 10-lap averages again. Josh Berry, fastest out of all the 4s and 10-lap averages. To me, that means something, especially when you look back. I mean, yeah, Blaney's 10th, half a tenth off the pace of Berry. But, I mean, front row is a full 10th and a half behind. Logano and Briscoe are 0.3 of a second behind. That's a big difference, man. That is a big difference. Now, you never know because at Dover, in practice, a lot of drivers are practicing green flag pit stops. Like I saw on TV that Blaney had practiced a green flag pit stop. That could be why Blaney's 5-lap average, where he is first, drops all the way back to 10th. Because maybe what it showed in the broadcast is he was trying to practice for a green flag pit stop. He missed pit road and then had to go back around again very slowly. So when he hits that start-finish line, timing and scoring registers that as another lap. That could be why Blaney drops from first to 10th on, or from 5-lap averages to 10-lap averages. So Ryan Blaney, there's a chance he might be the car to beat, especially on the short run. So keep an eye on where Blaney goes. I know he's going to qualify in this round. See where he ends up starting. But Josh Berry has got to be a play. I think looking at that data kind of verifies how I felt heading into the weekend. I think Josh Berry is going to have speed in the race car, so keep an eye out for him. And then Alex Bowman. Going to be interesting to see where Bowman ends up qualifying. Of course, not showing much in practice. Not a good qualifier most of the time. Will be interesting. Alex Bowman, 18-1. This is a great track for him. Think about 2024. It's been all about Hendrick. William Byron's got the wins. Larson's got to win. Chase Elliott's got to win. The missing link is Alex Bowman at a track that he has been really good at, and he won here back in 2021. Had a shot to win here in 2022, but because of green flag pit stops, somebody lost a wheel. He got trapped a lap down, had to take a wave around, and it ruined his race when he had one of the best cars in spring of 2022. So didn't race here last year. Obviously, as I said earlier, Josh Berry filled in for him with a top 10 finish. You know Hendrick's going to have speed. They're going to have speed. Byron, Bowman are both good plays, depending on the price. But Alex Bowman, I think if he doesn't qualify super well, you can expect to still find him around where I got him, which is 18-1. I'd bet Bowman down to 14-1 if you have it. I don't think you're going to see 14-1. I think you're going to see 18-1, 20-1 range for Alex Bowman. Totally worth it. Maybe a top Chevy play, which I think if someone like Byron comes out and wins the pole, that helps our top Chevy bet for an Alex Bowman, which closed, I think, at 7.5-1, maybe 8-1 on a couple books. If you can get Alex Bowman top Chevy 10-1, 12-1, that is an awesome bet. That is an awesome bet. We'll see if that actually unfolds in the way that I think it will. But regardless, I think it's a good idea to have action on Alex Bowman this weekend because this is a good track for him, a place he's won at. And I saw this crazy stat on Twitter. There's 5 drivers in the field that have won on their 300th Cup start. Like, it's a theme. That's crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy. 5 active Cup drivers. Maybe Kevin Harvick was included, so maybe it's not active, but 5 drivers that have won on their 300th Cup start. I think it was active. That is crazy. Guess what? Alex Bowman has 299 starts in the NASCAR Cup Series. Number 300 comes on Sunday afternoon. Add that to the juju. Add that to the list of narrative plays, along with what I think will be a good race car in the number 48 of Alex Bowman. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And then the drivers to watch. As I said, William Byron, Josh Berry, even though I've already bet on him, I still would keep an eye on him. Ryan Blaney, And if you think Christopher Bell is going to have race speed, you could say Christopher Bell's a guy to watch because was good in practice, spun out in qualifying. I don't think the damage is going to be bad. I am concerned about just the pure lack of momentum for that 20 team. I mean, they've had some awful luck, some awful races over the past 3 to 4 weeks. But you know that race car is probably going to have speed. So I would think about Christopher Bell if the books kind of ease up and give us a 15-1, 18-1, 20-1 line on Bell, which I think they will, considering how deep in the field he's going to be starting, and track position is key. He could get lapped pretty early in this race. So keep an eye on Christopher Bell as well, as Joey Logano is on the track right now. Which none of this shit matters to you guys. But and also, just to be clear, my 6 pole bets are, which Chastain's out, but I got 5 pole bets that are alive. That's Byron, Reddick, Blaney, Gibbs, and Briscoe. And 4 of those guys go in this next group. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, interesting timing. You know, Dalescenter, I've advertised, and over the years, I've done a Thursday or a Friday drop. And I felt like I was forcing too much. I was making myself, I was convincing myself and betting too much on lines or drivers that were very uncertain because we're not waiting for practice and qualifying. Too much betting before we even hit the racetrack. So I've actually enjoyed doing these on a Saturday, maybe a Friday afternoon or a Friday night after some kind of track activity has happened. And I think I'm going to continue doing them this way. So I know it kind of sucks not getting the information because typically if we record on a late Friday, early Saturday, you're going to have odds off the board. You're going to have some type of track time. And that's just the way it is. But for me personally, most of my bets are going to happen after practice and qualifying. Unless it is a track, as I said earlier, like a super speedway where I don't care. Where I don't care where anybody qualifies because you know who's good in the draft, who can find their way to the front. But most of the time, I think recording these on a Friday night, Saturday morning is going to be for the better. That way we have track activity and we have a basis of information, especially with a track like Dover that we only come to once a year. So with Xfinity, I think Ryan Truex has the car to beat. Don't want to bet anything lower than 5-1. I would explore a live opportunity. Let's say he gets a pit road speeding penalty. Some kind of mistake happens. That's minor, no damage. Wait, get a live bet where you can find Truex better than 5-1, and then think about that. But you heard my Xfinity card. Just rewind it if you want to go see that. Lock of the Universe, Austin Hill, top 5 with Cup. I'm keeping an eye on Josh Berry. I think he is a great bet this weekend. And I think because he didn't qualify up front, you're going to have value. Alex Bowman, we'll see what he does. Think you'll find some value on Bowman. So keep an eye on those guys along with a C. Bell and a William Byron and a Blaney who exemplified good speed in their averages and the best speed in their averages, whether it's a 5-lap or a 10-lap average. So that's all I got here on Dalescenter. Guys, be sure to join our new, I guess it's not new anymore, but it's still cool, GridRival. Fantasy for the racing obsessed. We've got a good Dale Tanhart official NASCAR Fantasy League. Over 730 members in this league. I don't know if you've got a shot to win, but it's free to join, and it's a fun game. So check it out. End of the year, winner gets $1,000. League winner gets $1K. Never know. Could hop in and try it out, but it is a really, really fun game that they've built for a season-long fantasy deal in NASCAR, which is something that we need. I mean, we need better season-long fantasy. Season-long fantasy in NASCAR sucks. I mean, let's just be real. It's fucking terrible across the board. GridRival has done a better job in making a game that is exponentially better than anything I've ever played. If you want to join my league, have some fun, click a link below. I've got it listed out as a GridRival, NASCAR Fantasy League, Racing Link, whatever you want to call it. That's my nice looking panel right there at the bottom of the screen. So join that and then do everything else. Follow me on social media at all these stupid ass platforms, except Action Network. That's where you'll see all my cup bets with specific unit allocations. Anything else, Discord. And as I said, I think I mentioned earlier, if you are in the Discord, you cannot miss a bet. You will not miss a bet if you are in the Dalescenter NASCAR Discord. Book it, guarantee it. That is the truth. So join the Discord, follow me on the Action Network app. All those links are below in my profile or in my YouTube description here. Appreciate you guys watching. Blaney clocked in 4th. We need to do better than that, Blaney. Come on. And he looks like he's going to do better. Oh, dude, that's a good lap. P1. Let's go. It's good for the pole bets. Ryan Blaney looks like he's got a rocket. I can go ahead and say that right now. We'll see what lines he opens back up at, or what line he opens back up at. But seems like Blaney has got a rocket here at Dover. Thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets this weekend. Follow me. Don't miss a bet as they come through. And we'll have a profitable weekend once again, courtesy of the greatest NASCAR bettor in the history of the universe. Thank you for watching Dalescenter. Enjoy your race weekend.